Yo, what's going on, guys? Pretty good here, and today I'm connecting you guys with my round 54 game on Gorod Krovi. Now, before we get into that, recently I saw Azura do a like court type of thing, if you guys know what I'm saying. So he basically asked for likes, and his subscribers smashed the hell out of his likes. I was included in that. So what I wanted to do was ask you guys for a like goal, and if you guys are, you know, a long time subscriber, then you guys will know that I don't usually ask for likes, but I just wanted to see if this works, if this whole asking for likes like a stripper actually works. So yeah, anyways, if you guys are feeling very generous and want to hit the like button down below, let's go for 25 likes. I think that sounds pretty damn reasonable, and without further ado, guys, let's get right into this. So my final leaderboard stats for this game were 4,077 kills, 4 downs, 3 revives, and 297 headshots. Now let's talk about Gorod Krovi, the actual map. So this map is actually one of the most difficult maps to get to a really high round on. Now the reason for that is because a lot of factors are really affecting your gameplay experience, and those things can be the Valkyrie drones, the Dragon's Fire, the Russian Manglers, the Electro Zombies, and just the fact that there isn't a lot of training spots on this map. So the only place where you guys can train on the map and actually have a chance of going to a very high round is in the operations bunker, and this is kind of self-explanatory, but I'm just gonna go in depth into all the reasons why this is the best training spot on the map. So the first reason on why this training spot is the best is because the rounds will go by pretty damn fast. This is kind of just self-explanatory, and the zombies will spawn closer to you because you're kind of in this secluded area, and also they won't be spawning halfway across the map and taking a lot of time to get to you. Now also, the Dragon's Fire will not break down there, which is really good because a lot of training spots on this map do get ruined by the Dragon's Fire. I mean, I love the dragon as much as the next guy, but the dragon can get very annoying very easily. Now next up, the Valkyrie drones cannot go down there. Now the Valkyrie drones are by no means hard at all. You might down by them when you first encounter them, but once you get a hang of them and really know what they can do, then they're pretty easy to keep around. And I'm not sure why they can't go down there. They're probably too fat and stuff, and they're just robots. But yeah, yeah, they can't fit down there. And a lot of the time, the reason why the Valkyrie drones are so deadly is because they can fly all around the map and really get in your face, get you caught, and then you'll eventually go down. Now the next 3 reasons are actually very cool, and I can't believe Treyarch put this in one exact area, but there is a Vesper wall gun spot. Now the Vesper is actually a very good wall gun to buy because then you guys have infinite ammo, and then you can slap a pack-a-punch upgrade on it and it becomes a beast. Next up, there's also an electric trap here, which is very reminiscent of the Mob of the Dead training spot. Basically, if you guys haven't played that map, you guys can only train in the cafeteria, and this is very reminiscent of that because first of all, you have a trap on the wall, you also have a very small area to train in, and the third reason is because the shield is also down there. Now the shield is actually very good. It's become very useful ever since they allowed the whole dragon fire spitting thing to come out from it, and that makes the shield so much more useful, and especially when it breaks, it can take you a while to actually get one, but if you guys are training down here, then the shield is actually right next to you 99% of the time. So yeah, like I said, this is actually a very small spot to train in, and I'll get into my whole strategy once I tell you guys what I was running, but the only thing I want you guys to know going into this is that this is kind of a hard training spot to get into. It took me a couple games to actually learn the strategy and how to run it very smoothly, and I'm pretty sure the same thing is going to go for you guys. Now as for the things I was running, so first of all, I had the map exclusive wonder weapon, which are the ray gun Mark 3s, and actually these things start sucking towards the late 40s if I'm going to be very honest with you guys. First of all, the black hole effect is still pretty much useful, however it'll start to make crawlers and only halfway damage the zombies, and then you'll need multiple shots. But if you guys have the pack-a-punched ones, and especially with double tap and speed cola, you guys can still make black hole shots very easily and very quickly. However, I'm pretty sure past round 70 these guns basically become useless, so that's pretty much why I wanted to stop towards the 50s. But if you guys are going for a very high round, then that's something you guys should be aware about. Now the second weapon I had was the Pack-a-Punch Vesper Dead Wire, and this is very self-explanatory. Dead Wire is a godsend from the Call of Duty gods, and it's basically the best thing you guys can have once you guys are going for a high round attempt. Now the 5 gobble gums I had were In Plain Sight and Anywhere anywhere but here. Those are basically my escape gobblegums, and I also had unquenchable and on the house, basically just to get me more than 4 perks. And my final gobblegum was killjoy, and that's basically just because I had nothing else to run. So if you guys have a few perkaholics to spare, then you guys can get rid of unquenchable and on the house, and you guys can also replace killjoy, because honestly I'm not too sure why I ran that. It kind of seemed useful before I got into the game, but once I got there, it really wasn't all that useful. Now, a couple of miscellaneous stuff that I also did run were the upgraded dragon shield, and that's very good. And actually the upgraded dragon shield sort of blast, the red one, is actually way better than the ray gun mark 3s. Like, I remember towards the 50s I was still pulling this out when I was getting caught in corners, and it was still insta killing zombies. So an upgraded dragon shield is better than the ray gun mark 3s. Just let that sink in for a minute, and it actually sounds kind of crazy. Now, the next thing I ran was the gauntlet of Siegfried. This thing is absolutely vital to your strategy, because the 115 punch is so damn useful and really clears out zombies pretty much towards infinity, honestly, because I can't imagine this thing becoming less powerful. So that's something you guys should definitely run. Now, the next thing I ran was the mangler helmet, and this thing isn't very essential, but it is very useful because manglers will spawn down there, and a couple of them spawn per round, and in a very small area they can get very crowded and really get you off guard, and sometimes they can actually be the thing that downs you. So just having the mangler helmet and killing them very quickly will save you a lot of the time. Now, the last thing I ran was the dragon strike, and this thing is pretty damn useless for, you know, one very simple reason, and that is because we are underground. There is nowhere for the dragon to be able to strike wherever you place this thing, so I really don't recommend you guys get this, and even trying to upgrade it can be a pain in the ass. So yeah, very simply, do not get the dragon strike. So now let's talk about how the strategy actually works. So first of all, you guys are going to need to have the 2 doors that lead out of this area closed. You absolutely need to have those 2 doors closed, because if you have them open, zombies will flow in from those areas and really kill this entire strategy. So that is something you guys absolutely need to do. Now, the way I would run this is at the end of a round, I would board up the 2 windows that are down there, and once I do that, I stand right next to the electricity trap. I finally kill the last zombie and wait for the next round to start. Now, when the round starts, I'm gonna look towards the only exit and entrance to the strategy, and I'm gonna wait until I see my first zombie. Now, this can take a while, but it usually doesn't take too long, and even though there are still barriers inside of the strategy, the fact that you boarded them gives you a couple of seconds to actually wait to activate the trap. So once you guys have the trap on, you guys will then run around and kill zombies with your dead wire or your ray gun mark 3, depending on which round you're on. And when the electricity trap stops flowing, that is when you're gonna pull out your gauntlet of Siegfried and switch to your 115 punch and absolutely go to town on the zombies. Now, depending on which round you're on, this will either end the entire round, or you guys will actually run out of the specialist bar and your 115 punch will go away. And if that happens, you guys will either turn the electricity trap back on, or you guys can just run around and kill all the zombies with your dead wire and ray gun mark 3s. Now, that's basically the entire strategy. It seems very easy, but honestly there are a lot of times where you guys go down for very dumb and very avoidable reasons, and that's basically the only time I ever went down. So now, usually at this point, I'd go in depth onto each one of my downs and explain to you guys what I did wrong and how to avoid it, but honestly 3 out of my 4 downs were the same thing and they were all easily avoidable, so let's just talk about them all together. So my first 3 downs in order came on round 35, round 37, and round 52. And basically, I either got too cocky and tried to out-train the zombies and got caught, or I just took a wrong turn and ended up going down. Now, my final down on round 54 was actually my fault, and this one was really avoidable, and I'm still thinking to myself, if I didn't down at this moment, how far could I have gone? Honestly, I probably would have died like 10 seconds later, but let's focus on this down. So this basically happened because I was wrapping around zombies. I saw my shield had broken, so I made my way around with the zombies behind me. I tried to slide by and get a shield, but a zombie caught me off guard. I didn't even get my shield, but if I did, I probably wouldn't gotten hit on the back. I probably would have had time to kill that zombie and sprint forward, but I didn't even pick it up, and I ended up getting myself caught and finally getting myself down. So yeah guys, that was a summary of my round 54 game on Gorod Krovi. The strategy I showed you guys in this video is actually very good in my opinion, and I highly recommend you guys run this strategy if you guys are gonna go for a high round attempt. But there you guys have it. If you guys did enjoy this video, then make sure to drop a like down below and also subscribe for more Black Ops 3 Zombies videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.